Hello, friends. I need to take a drink of water because I just did a Facebook Live too and am parched. I'm so happy to get to spend some time with you during this holiday moment here between Christmas and New Year's. Thank you for coming on with me today, especially if you're watching the replay. I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for watching. As you're coming in, let me know where you're watching from and what are you doing? Is it vacation for you? Are you still working right now? What's going on with you? How are you? I'm so glad to be here. What I want to talk about today is the 21-day challenges that we do every quarter. We have another one coming up starting on Monday. So I know that the holiday season is really tough for a lot of us food-wise because we're inundated with so much necessarily want to be eating. But that's why we make our 21-day challenges for you to learn a little bit more about how to eat to live and how to get on track with this healthy eating lifestyle. So I hope that this is working. I don't have any comments yet. Let me know where you're watching from if you're coming on. We've got Vincent here who's Fran, hello. Live from Southern Oregon. Out hiking your neighborhood. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. I need to get out for a walk today too. I went for a little run yesterday for like 15 minutes. I haven't ran since before the pregnancy. I felt so good. Who else is here? Let me know. So are you guys enjoying your holiday season? What's going on with you? This is, as always, a live sort of coaching call. So if you have any questions about anything, let me know. I'm going to answer some questions that I had from somebody on email about the 21-day challenges. So maybe that will help you if you're interested. But our 21-day challenges are just what they sound like, a challenge for 21 days to learn how to eat to live. And we will give you all the recipes, all the meal plans, all the grocery lists. We think of everything for you. And we want you to learn sort of the rhythm of what it's like to eat to live for 21 days so that you can, be equipped with that information and know how to eat that way. Hugs, beautiful people. Hugs back to you, Connie. And Justin's Oregon homestead. So glad you're here. Thanks for showing up. Who else is here? Let me know where you're watching from. So it's open for registration right now. The 21-day challenge that we're doing for January, for the first challenge of 2020. We've been doing these for a couple years now, and 2021. Oh my gosh, we've been doing them for a couple years. The first one is going to start January 4th of this year. So Paula from Northwest Oklahoma. Hello. Welcome, Paula. Who else is here? Let me know where you're watching from. So we're starting a 21-day challenge all together. 21 days of eat to live food with all brand new recipes. We always do brand new recipes every time. And they're all laid out into sort of a meal plan. Darlene from sunny Southern California. Hello, Darlene. It's pretty sunny here in Vegas today too. I think it's 52 degrees. So it's a little bit chilly, but could be chillier, right? Rest of the country. So 21 days of beautiful, healthy, high nutrient, plant-based eat to live recipes that follow all the guidelines. So you get all the G-bombs every day, tons of bulk to keep you full. Eileen from San Francisco. Hello, Eileen. So happy to see you guys. Thanks for joining me today. So if you have any questions, first of all, this is an open coaching call. So if you need any answers on anything you might be struggling with, what's tough about eating this way right now? Are you having any struggles? What do you need help with? And I just want to give you a little information about the 21-day challenges because we're starting one on Monday and I want you to join in. We have so many people join these every single time, hundreds of people every time join us on the challenges. And they're so much fun because the energy just gets so heightened during these challenge times because everyone's making the same thing. Everyone's going to the grocery store, getting their stuff, or you can get your groceries delivered during a pandemic, however you need to do it, right? And we all just kind of join together to learn how to eat this way. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about how we set them up. And I have some great questions from someone named Jeff too. Oh, Darlene says, I can't lose a pound no matter what I do. Maybe if I try standing on my head. LOL. That might, maybe more calorie burn that way. I don't know. Oh, Vanessa, you're sweet. Hi, Vanessa from New Jersey. You are beautiful too, my love. Thanks for saying that. Darlene, I would love for you to try one of these 21-day challenges. That is what they're all about. They're all about weight loss. They're about two things, right? Eating to live, so learning how to eat this way and love the food, and losing weight at the same time. We have so many testimonials of people who lose 3, 5, 7 pounds during these challenges. That's a pretty typical weight loss. I've had people lose up to 24 pounds during the 21 days, actually, but that was, of course, somebody who weighs a good deal more when they start. But you can have some really amazing results if if you're able to get through it and stick to it. And you should be, because what we do for you is we take all the thinking out of it. So we make it so you don't even have to think about a single thing. We give you all the recipes. They're brand new recipes every time. By the way, let me put a link for this. I need to put a link so that you guys know even where to go get it. I'm going to put a link in this chat section here. I put a link already in the description of this video. And so you can go sign up and pin it to the top there so you can get to it. And so it's recipes, all new recipes every time, awesome recipes, meal plans. So it'll tell you when to eat them for the 21 days. And it's also prep instructions. So we tell you exactly when to make what, like every single detail. And we break it down so that you don't have any more than 15 to 20 minutes of cooking time every day. And many days you don't have any cooking time at all, just a little bit of prep time. So we really think of everything for you. And like even down to like, this is when you cook the mushrooms, and this is, in bulk. And then this is when you separate them out into this quantities, and then you put them in the freezer. And then this day you pull them out to, add to this recipe and whatever, so that it just makes it a lot easier for you. You don't have to think about a single thing. So that's what our 21-day challenges are. Not just that though, not just the recipes and the meal plans. They are also lots of bonus PDFs. So we have bonus PDFs about kitchen tools that I love, Amazon things that I love that I use in my kitchen all the time. We have bonuses about mindset, which is the whole other part of the equation. That's the whole important part I think that we need to start working on. We have bonuses about like frequently asked questions. We have a huge 16-page welcome booklet that gives you so much information. So really a lot of supporting materials too. So consider all of that if that's stuff that, sounds like it might be useful for you. And Vanessa says, my biggest struggle is breakfast. I get hungry with almost anything. Is oatmeal daily okay? Yes, absolutely. Oatmeal daily is okay. And you'll actually will learn a lot about oatmeal in our challenges. We have a lot of oatmeal. I also have a product on my website called the 9-day oatmeal breakfast boot camp, which just has a lot of really awesome oatmeal recipes in there too, which is available anytime. But the challenge is only available right now for this week. Yes, you can have oatmeal daily for sure. Now, if you do one of our challenges, you can learn how to have oatmeal and lose weight at the same time, right? It's going to be different for everybody. Like everyone has different requirements for their bodies and how their bodies lose weight and their metabolisms and their energy burn, daily caloric burn, what you do, how active you are, all that kind of stuff. So everyone's going to be a little bit different, and everyone's going to respond differently to oatmeal and carb type foods like that too, because we have different bodies. So for me, for instance, when I eat oatmeal, I typically will get hungry a bit earlier than I would if I had one of our big smoothies, which you learn how to make and what portion to have each time so that you're not getting hungry, super early. But we can still lose weight eating these types of foods. And that's what I want to show you on these challenges, that you can still lose weight by showing you how much to eat and then what to have for your next meal and what to have for dinner, so that you know just exactly the right amounts to kind of see, oh, this is what I need to eat in order to lose weight. And so doing that some days, doing smoothies some days, whatever, you can still find things that make it possible for you to lose weight. So I suggest if you're going to have something that's more carby like that, maybe a little higher calorie than a smoothie, which not necessarily true. The smoothies I eat, guys, are like huge 30-ounce smoothies, right? So very, very big smoothies, 24 ounces. They last me for hours. Oatmeal can last me for hours too. I typically get a little hungrier after I eat oatmeal though, like hungrier earlier. So then I have to employ a little bit of mindset to be like, it's okay. Hunger is not an emergency. I can get through the next few hours without eating, kind of a thing. And then I'll have my big, huge salad and I'll be fine for the rest of the day. So yes, you can have oatmeal daily, but you want to find out what your specific protocol is, Vanessa. What a protocol is the amount of food and the types of foods that you need to eat in order for you to maintain or lose, to get to that healthy weight, in order for you to not be starved all the time, right? Like you eat and you're satisfied until the next meal, to get enough fiber, enough nutrients, and to get all the G bombs, right? Which are important foods that we need to be eating every day for immunity benefits, etc. That is a protocol. Okay. Now, a protocol is something that we follow because we know it works to get us to that weight goal, or it's something that we follow because we know it works to get us all those nutrients and all that fiber that we just follow. We just keep doing it because it's good for us. And, now my website is based on two things. It's based on the food and it's based on the mindset. And that if we can learn both of those and we put those together, we turn that into like the most powerful health equation ever for the rest of our life, right? If we can eat the right food and supply our body with those nutrients that it needs, and we can get our mindset to the place where we're not overeating on those foods, we're not binging anymore, which are the issues I am coming from. I started the nutritarian diet and it helped a lot with cravings and stuff, but I still was overeating. I was still binge eating, and I needed to figure out what would get me to that next level of, that final level of just being done with the weight loss, being done with the the binging and the overeating. And that was the mindset portion of it. I needed to learn how to wrap my mind around it and not crave. I needed to learn how to stop those cravings. And so that's what I teach in the rest of what I do, which is the coaching stuff. But I created the challenges because, first of all, I want you to learn that a salad is not this big, right? A salad is this big, finely chopped. That's a salad. That is the type of salad that's going to get you through the rest of the day. And so that's what we put on our challenges, to show you the exact quantities. Because I've been doing the YouTube thing for a long time, right? And I found that people were still eating tiny salads. And I'm like, no, like, you don't understand that you really have to eat a lot to be full when you're eating only, vegetables and beans and things like that, which is great news, because then we actually get some nice satiety and we can get through our days and lose the weight. Like yesterday I had a huge smoothie like this, and then I had a massive salad. It took me 45 minutes to eat. That's all I ate for the whole day. And I wasn't hungry at all. And I had a little cravings that I had to get through, but I got through those using some of the mindset techniques that I teach. But hunger-wise, I wasn't hungry at all. And this is how you can lose weight too. Like, I'm on a weight loss journey right now. I've lost 3 pounds so far. And I'm very proud of that, because I can tell that they are forever pounds, right? Like, it's not just those pounds that you lose and then they come back next week because you went out to eat that weekend and, you're thrown off for a couple of days. Now you got to start again. Like, no, these are the forever 3 pounds. And now I'll never be that weight again. So putting these techniques together, the food and the mindset, gets us to that over time, to that place where we never struggle with food anymore. And food is not everything to us anymore, right? And so those are the things I'm teaching you a little bit in the challenges. So I teach you all about the food and what quantities to eat and how to eat them on the 21-day challenges. And then when you do my mindset stuff, which there's a bonus PDF that comes with the challenge that talks about this mindset stuff, to give you an introduction on that and how I coach. And then I didn't think I was, watch out. I didn't think I was going to mention this, but I decided to on the last call. So I wanted to announce it. I am opening up my mindset coaching program called the Eat to Live Family, January 25th. So I talk about understanding the food and understanding the mindset. And once you put those two together, you're on a health journey for the rest of your life, and you'll just keep going. So I created a monthly coaching program, super affordable for you, to understand how to do all of these things and get that monthly support. So it's going to be coaching calls, private community group, which is probably going to be on Facebook, and a whole bunch of other amazing things. You get access to my own weight loss vlog, and that's called the Eat to Live Family. So that's going to open right after the challenge is done. So those are the two things I'm dealing with right now. We've got the 21-day challenges, and we've got the Eat to Live Family. And so I want to support you in that way. All right, let me come to these questions. So Darlene says, thank you. I'm going to look into it. Awesome. Iman says, I have 50 pounds to lose in 4 months. I have an event coming up and would love to look good. Plus, I want to learn how to eat this way forever for health. I've tried plant-based meals and failed many times. I totally get you, Iman, for sure. I had so much struggle throughout my years. I've been doing this since 2013. And now I'm on my last weight loss journey of my life, because I just finished my twin pregnancy. So I'm losing all of my weight. As I said, I lost 3 pounds. My forever pounds are gone now. And I've got, I want to get down to around maybe 105 or 110. I'm 5'2". So that's kind of my healthy nutritarian goal weight. Right now I'm at 147. So I started at 150 when I was done being pregnant and got a little ways to go. But 50 pounds in 4 months is about, what is that, like 12, 11 pounds a month, something like that. That's doable. I can tell you, Iman, that you will be happy losing 25. So look at that mindset thing you're doing, how you're putting pressure on yourself about needing to lose a certain amount in 4 months. But I guarantee you, 25 pounds down, you're going to feel like $1,000,000 too. The reason that we do anything is because of how we think it's going to make us feel. Okay. So the reason you want to lose that weight is because you think it's going to make you feel amazing. Now, I want to tell you a little secret, and this is a mindset secret. Once you get there, if you do it in 4 months, great. But once you get to that 50 pounds down, I promise you there's going to be a honeymoon period of loving it. And then you're going to feel exactly the same way you do about anything else. Any day of the month, any day of the year, you're going to go back to feeling exactly like you. But now you're going to be upset when you gain 5 pounds rather than 50 pounds, right? Now, this is an interesting thing that our brain does. It's called neuroadaptation, which is where the brain is like, it's going to be so much better here, and I need to I need to get there. But once we get to that goal, once we get to that thing, the brain adapts to that level of awesomeness. And now it's got a different thing to be upset about. Like if you won the lottery, right? You're going to be so happy for a few months, maybe a year. It's going to be so cool because you're going to be spending money like water and money won't matter and whatever. It's going to feel so great and wonderful. And then there's going to be a point where you're like, oh, this is just how it is now. I just have a ton of money. Like I don't have to worry about money anymore. And for sure, some things are going to feel easier, but you're going to have a whole host of other things to deal with now. Right? So when we get to that goal, weight, I'm giving you some really advanced mindset stuff right now, but it just sparked it for me. When the way that you said that, I have to lose this in 4 months is setting you up already for a feeling of urgency. It's setting you up already for a feeling of I have to be there at this date. And if I don't get there, I'm going to be very disappointed, right? Now, I'm telling you this because I've done this myself so many times. When we have a feeling of urgency, a feeling of, like we got to get this done now. When we feel urgent about weight loss, what do we tend to do? We tend to restrict ourselves. We tend to starve ourselves sometimes. We tend to, if we restrict ourselves for a while, then we go back to eating the same exact way we did because we didn't get to have that thing for a while and then we just gain it back, right? I would hate to see you, even if you lost the 50 pounds, just gain it back because you're not looking at the long term. Okay. I'm not trying to single you out here. I just want to kind of give this because I think this lesson applies to so many people. I wanted to mention the thing about the 25 pounds down because I know you'll feel like $1,000,000 even if you lost 10 pounds, even if you lost 5 pounds, you'll still be happy because you're making progress because you're on your way. Right now, you're thinking that 50 pounds down is going to mean something when you get there. It's going to feel totally different. But if the way that you get 50 pounds down in 4 months is by white knuckling and pushing and hating yourself when you look in the mirror at 5 pounds down or 10 pounds down, this isn't good enough. This isn't good enough. Right. If we get to that place where we're doing it out of brute force, when we get to the goal, and we let go of the force, we let go of the willpower, we're just going to start eating the same way we ate before, and the 50 pounds is going to come right back. I tell you this, and I say this because I'm a coach at heart, and I want to help you see lots of angles of this, right? But I tell you because I've done this countless times where I've lost 10 pounds, I lost 20 pounds, I gain it all back. You think you're going to feel a certain way when you get to that wedding, right? Or the event, whatever that event is, you think you're going to feel a certain way when you get to that event. And for sure you will. If you lose the 50 pounds in 4 months, you get to that event at that event, you're going to feel like $1,000,000. And then what's going to happen that night when you're done with the event, or the next morning when you're done with that event, and there's no more goal, right? You can be like, oh, I can have eggs and bacon again, right? Or whatever is the thing that you have for breakfast. Or that night when you come home from the event, you're going to be like, oh, I can have a ton of cake at the wedding or whatever this event is, right? Or I can eat the food that's at the place, right? Now what we're doing, and I want to change my language to not you, but to we, because we all do this. Now what we're doing is saying, now that the thing is over, now I can go right back. We all do this. We can just go right back to the way we were eating before because we can relax now. Because we think that what we're doing it for is that feeling of that day, what that event is, what we think that we're going to feel so much different when we get there. When in fact, if we have pushed ourselves, if we have white knuckled and done it in a very stressful way, that event is going to feel stressful, right? All the days leading up to it are going to feel stressful. And then we're going to feel equally stressed on the other side of the event because now we don't know how to maintain it because we can't hold on any longer, right? So when we do these things for short-term goals, it creates a pressure around our goal. But this is what I'm talking about with mindset. Now I talk about teaching you guys how to do the food. I talk about teaching you how to do the mindset. Now the mindset part of this is that we want to learn how to do this forever, right? Because if we really get serious with ourselves, that is what we would want. We don't think we can. We don't think it's possible for us, but we really would like to be, like Dr. Furman, who just like chooses the good food all the time and doesn't have any attachments to other food. Like that's what we want to be. We just don't think it's possible, but that's what we really want. So we say, okay, if that's not possible for me, then I'm just going to bite off a littler chunk, which is I just want to lose 50 pounds in 4 months, right? That seems smaller than a lifetime of healthy eating. But what if let me give you just another possibility of how this could look, Aman. What if we were like, I have a goal to lose some weight before this event. Because what you really want is to be proud of yourself, right? You want to say, I did this, I could do it. But you also don't want to, on the other end of it, be really mad at yourself for then eating all of the food afterwards, right? We don't want to like go back on what we were doing and just gain it all back and have to do it again in a year when we're ready again, right? What we really want is to, we want to be working on this goal and figure out how to do it in a relaxed, calm way so that we're just losing the weight, eating the healthy food, learning how to do it forever in a way that doesn't feel rushed, in a way that doesn't feel urgent, in a way that feels like loving ourselves at the same time, because loving ourselves while we're doing it is everything. That is how we get to do it forever. So loving yourself could look like losing 20 pounds before the event in 4 months, which is great. That's 5 pounds a month, a pound a week-ish. Doesn't sound fast enough, right? Because you want it to be a lot faster, but losing 20 pounds in 4 months, that's awesome. That's like people are going to notice. They're going to be like, wow, what's she doing? I wonder how she's doing it. You're going to feel good because you're on your way. It's more relaxed. I don't know how much you're going to lose, and it doesn't matter, right? What I'm trying to say is that there's one way of doing it, which is I have to lose this in this amount of time, or I'm going to feel really poorly about myself, right? There's another way of doing it, which is I'm on my way. I'm going to feel great when I'm there because I put in all this wonderful effort, and then I'm just going to keep going afterwards. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to find out how to do this long term and how to love myself during it. And after I'm done, I'm not going to go all the way back in the other direction and gain it all back and everything because I'm not white knuckling things, right? I'm learning how to do it in a calm, peaceful way. That's the goal. So we could have short-term weight loss goals, but if we have any urgency, if we can feel like, and you just check in with yourself, right? I do this all the time. Check in with yourself. Do you feel urgent about it? Every time I get this feeling that's like, I just want to lose the weight already. I wish I was done. That's when I'm like, whoa, calm down, lady. It's all going to be okay. You're going to be fine. It's okay if you don't lose the weight in 6 months. It's okay if it takes 12 months, right? It's okay if it takes 2 years. As long as you're on your way, right? That's why I'm at 3 pounds down now. I'm like, cool. Proving to myself that I can do it. Proving to myself that I'm caring enough about myself to do it the way it needs to be done, long term, forever. Okay. I know you didn't ask that question either. And I just went off on a huge tangent, but I thought that this might be useful for others. And I hope it was, right? This is what we do in my coaching. This is the mindset stuff we talk about. Because when we talk about feelings and urgency and thoughts, and all of this stuff is related to create our results. All of it comes together to create what weight we are right now. All the thoughts I've had in the past are what created my current weight. All the thoughts that you've had in the past are what are creating your current weight. And what will create your weight in 4 months from now is the thoughts that you're having right now. Okay, that's a little bit of the mindset stuff that we talk about. I mean, that's just tip of the iceberg, scratching the surface of what we talk about. But that's the difference. I mean, those are the two things I do. We deal with the food, how much to eat, what to eat, how to get the G-bombs in, etc. That's what the 21-day challenges are. We deal with the mindset. How do we add in the mindset at the same time to keep doing the food thing forever, to love ourselves while we're doing it, for it to not feel urgent and rushed, and for us to just be at peace with what we're doing? It's a lot more beneficial to do things peacefully long term than it is to rush to a small goal and then go all the way back in the other direction. We got to start all the way over, right? And it feels better too to be peaceful about it. So that's what I'm trying to teach you. So I want to say real quickly before I get to some of your other questions, if you guys have other questions, let me know. I will get to them today about anything, right? Not just the 21-day challenges, any struggles you're having or anything like that. Let me know in the questions and I will get to them. The 21-day challenges are the nuts and bolts. Like, what do you do food wise to help yourself get all the nutrients you need, to get all the fiber you need, to lose the weight that you need to lose, to feel satisfied with your food, to get to that place where you are peaceful about your food and your cravings are much less, right? That's what our 21-day challenges are. We give you brand new recipes every time, all new meal plans. It's the same setup every time, but it's new recipes every time. And then we give you all the prep instructions, exactly what to make and when. And then we give you so many bonuses. So if you guys are interested in signing up for the 21-day challenge, it's open for registration right now. And if you know anything about me, if you've been following me for any time, you would know that once we close that registration period, that's it. Can't get in afterwards. And you got to wait till the next quarter to do the next challenge with us. It's so fun because we have the coaching group that we use with it. We have a private coaching group that you can get in on. And we also have the regular high nutrient lifestyle group on Facebook where everyone is a buzz with what's going on, helping each other out. So 21-day challenge is open for registration right now. There's a link in the comments here. And there's also a link in the description of this video. So please go check that out if you can. So hi, Lori. I'm so glad you made it to this one. You just signed up. I'm so glad. Yay. Yeah, you missed the half off sale. We're going to be doing another sale sometime in the first or second quarter of next year. And then woohoo, 30 pounds to go. Again, shaking my head. I know. We got about the same amount to lose. I got a little more than you. So let's just do it together. Okay. It's fine. It's all good. We'll get there. And so I'm going to be coaching this kind of stuff, like you just heard a little bit ago, in the Eat to Live family. So we've got the challenges, which deal with the food, and then we've got the mindset stuff, which is a monthly coaching membership that I'm opening up on January 25th called the Eat to Live family. So we have a registration period open for this challenge right now. The challenge is going to go for 3 weeks, starting this coming Monday on January 4th. It's going to go for 3 weeks. And then right when that is done on Monday, we open up registration for the Eat to Live family. So that's the ongoing coaching that's going to help you. You get all your challenges for free in that group. If you join that monthly coaching membership, all of these quarterly challenges are going to be free. You're going to get so many other things. You're going to get coaching calls like this where you can actually interact with me and we can talk, video to video, and you can see other people being coached, which I think is a huge benefit of watching other people get coached. Like if you got anything out of me coaching Aman just now, that's what these that's what these calls are going to be like, just all this coaching, coaching, coaching. You'll get the food stuff, you'll get the challenges included for free. You're also going to get access to my weight loss vlog. So I have been recording for at least 2 months now, hundreds of videos about how I'm doing this and what I'm doing with my mindset and how I'm changing and how I'm losing the weight and all that. So you'll get access to all that for free inside the membership too. That's the Eat to Live family. So that's going to open up in a few weeks. Keep your eye out for that. I'm going to put a link for it here just in case you're interested for the wait list. When I open that, you can get in there too. I didn't really mean to talk about that much on this video, but anyways, that's what's happening there. So, okay. So let's see some other questions. Remember, you can ask me any questions right now. So make sure you ask them because I'm only going to be here for another 25 minutes. Okay. Dan says, I'm curious, have you ever had any male clients that just didn't thrive on this vegan diet? If so, what did you have to add? Cool, Tabby. Yeah, she's cool, but she's kind of mean. She loves to be on camera. So I've had male clients who have had much success. I haven't had any male clients who haven't thrived, but I want to ask you more about not thriving. Wait, let me just read the rest of your question out loud. Are there some people who don't succeed on this way of eating? Is there something in a person's genetics that allows them to thrive on a vegan diet while others fail no matter how many beans they eat? Can you give me a little bit more information, Dan, on what you mean by fail? Okay, what do you mean when you say others fail no matter how many beans they eat? Because I want to talk mindset for a second about this, but I want to see if you have actual blood test results or, what is it like? Is it exhaustion? How do you fail? Is it that you don't feel like you're getting enough food, so you always end up eating pizza, or what? What do you mean by failing? Because I'm going to give you some thoughts that I have. And Tim says, you just made a lot of sense because a lot of it is mind control. Awesome. Yeah, it's everything. Your mindset is literally everything. Well, the nutrients are really important too, because that will help. But the mindset is the sort of end of it. Okay, so Dan, I'm going to jump into your question based on some different thoughts I'm having about it. So do some people just not thrive? So let's talk about physically. Now, I am not a medical professional, so do not take this advice, okay? Do not take this as advice. I'm just telling you what I know based on years of kind of listening to what Dr. Fuhrman says. There are actually some people who do not thrive on a vegan diet. For instance, older people, 70, 80, 90 years old, need more protein. And then children sometimes need a little bit more protein too. That's where you can buy a plant-based protein powder and have something like that. And there are some people I have heard of that actually do have to have a little bit of animal protein because of the way that their body absorbs protein. That is not the case for most of us. Most of us, it's mindset. Most of us, it's thinking we're not getting what we need because we're used to a lifetime of junk food or overeating or binging. And we've just got those patterns created that we think we're not thriving, right? Like a lot of people will come to me and say, oh, I eat these salads and I just don't feel satisfied. And my answer is always, okay, this is a mindset issue. It's not that you're actually not satisfied. It's that you think you're not satisfied because you're used to having meat or carbs or, bread, pasta, things like this to chew down on. And when you eat a salad, it's a very different experience. Not to mention the fact that you get less dopamine response when you're eating a salad versus eating heavier standard American diet foods, dairy, cheese, things like this. I haven't heard back from Dan, so I'm just going to keep going on this path. Okay. So typically it's that emotional response that we feel like we're not getting enough, whatever it is. We feel like we're not, satisfied or not thriving or something. There's also another actual thing that can happen where if you're not getting enough, here's your response. Having negative side effects, tired, not strong in the gym, loss of hair, sexual dysfunction. But the second I ate beef and things got better. Okay, interesting. So I don't know. It could be an actual physical need for more protein, in which case maybe you try some of this protein powder, you eat more nuts and seeds, things like that. Typically, and then also, I don't know if you're in a weight loss journey, but those are can be symptoms of weight loss as well, right? So you definitely want to talk to your doctor about these things because I'm not an expert medically and I don't want to give you advice that might not, be correct for your case. But I do know that it is sort of a complicated situation. There's lots of different things at work here. So weight loss can create a lot of weird things going on in our body when we're detoxing all of those fat cells and releasing those fat cells. Side note, did you know that when you lose weight, where does it go? We actually breathe out the weight, because what happens is the body does all these very complex chemical processes, takes those fat cells, breaks them down, puts everything in different places, filters it through the urine, whatever. But most of it is converted to carbon dioxide, which we breathe out. And what are we left with? If we convert all that to carbon dioxide, we're left with all this other stuff. We've got a lot of toxins that the body has to flush out, lots of different, it's a very, very heavy process that the body's doing when it's losing weight. That's why you can get a lot of acne. You can get hair loss. I had hair loss when I first started this lifestyle. So the body's doing a lot of stuff, and you might consider that the dysfunction in the gym, not feeling strong in the gym, might be because your body is trying to do something else right now, right? It's trying to, so I don't know if you're on a weight loss journey or not, but for those of you who are on the weight loss journey, if you're feeling this, now, the note that I was making about animal products, some people do better on animal products, but it's very rare. It's really, really rare. So there are lots of bodybuilders who are vegan, for instance. I know a guy named Tori Washington, actually at our local vegan restaurant. There's a salad named after him. Look at his picture. He is like the picture of health, massive muscles, like tons of muscles, and he's vegan. There are lots of vegan bodybuilders, isn't it, babe, isn't it,
It's delicious.
no, but it's delicious for sure. But football players, who's like vegan? Isn't
Brady.
Tom Brady goes vegan during the season, I think. And there's a few other football. And these are like NFL players, right? And they're going vegan because of the performance benefits. So I want to challenge you to look at it and see if it's a physical thing because you're losing weight. Because Tom Brady isn't losing weight while he's doing this, right? He's using it for the clarity, for really just like the clean eating, right? If a bodybuilder like Tori Washington, Torre Washington, can look the way that he does based on just like protein supplements, like shakes or whatever. If we're in the gym, we're trying to gain weight, we just need more protein. But you don't even need that much, honestly. More nuts and seeds, more beans, more, maybe some protein powder if you like, to get a little bit more protein, but you don't need that much to gain muscle. So most of this then comes down to mental struggle, because you're used to eating beef, because you're used to eating these types of foods that give you that, they give you that satiety, that feeling of, you get a huge boost of calories and fat all at once. It gives you different signals in your brain. It's like a woman feeling like she needs to eat bread with a salad, right? That's something that I would always feel in the beginning, like, oh, I have to have some kind of grain. I need to have some bread or something like that. It was all mental. It's just getting past that mental struggle and getting through the physical issues of losing weight that can make it tough for us, right? So I don't know if you're losing weight or not, but certainly that can be a tough process for the body to go through. And then when you're in shape like Tori Washington, or you're in your shape like Tom Brady, and you've been doing workouts like this, it's possible to do it without meat, right? Now, the other thing you want to keep in mind, the reason we do the Eat to Live diet is because of one of the four cornerstones of the nutritarian diet is the hormonal, because it is hormonally favorable, meaning that the body does not have to process a bunch of additional extra hormones and create extra hormones because it's processing animal food. So, for instance, when you eat a lot of meat, you have a lot of circulating IGF-1 that the body creates, which is insulin-like growth factor 1. It's like having a bunch of insulin going around in your body, creating a bunch of havoc, right? When you have a bunch of IGF-1 running through your body, it's like you're running your body on high all the time, because the body's constantly got to figure out what to do with all this IGF-1. And the insulin, if you eat a lot of carbs or sugar, it's the same thing. Like these hormones, we want to be really careful with not having too much of them running through our body, because that's what creates issues later down the line. That's why you see so many issues with bodybuilders and athletes who are using these kinds of things, 100, 150, 200 grams of protein per day, because their bodies just don't need that much protein. But we're getting messages from advertising companies and protein companies and dairy and meat, farmers and production, that we need it because it's a marketing thing, right? So all of these are kind of confounding the situation to where we mentally and emotionally think we need it. But actually, if we just had just a little bit more, it'd be enough to do really well and to perform really well. But when we're in a state of detox, when we're trying to lose weight or when we're trying to just even detox from that burger we had last week or whatever, the body has to do a lot more stuff than it would. That could be creating the issues in the gym. You know, and I'll just talk about the sexual dysfunction thing for a moment. You can watch a movie called The Game Changers, which is so fascinating. There's a whole section about sexual dysfunction there, talking about how ED, erectile dysfunction, typically is an indicator of heart disease. It's an early warning sign of heart disease and the fact that you've got, endothelial disruption where like the cells inside of your cell walls of the veins and the arteries and things like that are starting to lose their elasticity and the gonna get a little detailed here, but the penis actually uses blood to do what it does, right? And so if your blood is not flowing very well, you're going to have issues there. So it's actually a good indicator that there may be some other things going on. Now you can read a lot about this online, and I'm certainly not an expert. I've read a lot of these things. Watch that movie Game Changers. It's fascinating. It's so for anybody to watch. It's so good. It's geared towards men though, so it's a really interesting film to watch, but it also gives some really cool visuals on like what will actually happen to you right after you eat, certain types of fats and beef and things like that. What happens to your blood cells, and it's just so incredibly interesting to look at. And then, like I talk about with other clients, of course, most of my audience is female, but it's the same kind of a thing. Like Connie just says, I'm trying to get myself not to want crackers and soups. Yeah, mental, it's all emotional, right? It's the dopamine hit that we get from those things. We're certainly getting dopamine hits from eating beef and from eating cheese and dairy and things like that, so much more so than we would if we were having just the salad, right? Because those vegetable based plant foods with lots of fiber and low calories, those things are making it so that we have like a very even response to the food emotionally, uh, chemically, hormone wise in our head with the dopamine and serotonin and all these other things. We get a very even response to it. So we don't get that jolt, that excitement, and it's hard to do without that for a while. Digestively, eating beef and dairy and things like that is so much harder on the body than it is to process vegetables and things like that too. So, we can often feel this emotional response to it when really it has nothing to do with emotions. It's just like we think our performance has to do with the food itself when really it was the emotion that is creating so much of these things for us. So something to look at, Dan, and I can't give you advice because I don't know exactly what's going on in your case. You'd certainly want to talk to a doctor about all of that stuff. But the other thing too is make sure you've got the right supplements too. Don't forget that vegans do need to have B12. You do probably need a ton of vitamin D. Most of us need to supplement vitamin D, even if we think I live in Vegas and I still have a crazy low vitamin D level. I had to take tons of vitamin D every day just to get myself, and I know this by blood tests, right? Get your blood tested, find out, get a comprehensive metabolic panel, figure out what's going on with your doctor. Find a doctor who knows about nutrition a little bit, because most doctors, you ask them to give you vegan blood tests and you're like, well, what do I need to get you? Right? Like I remember going to a doctor and he's like, okay, what does vegan mean? I'm like, okay, so I need a B12 test. I need iron, ferritin. I need, what else is there? Zinc in some cases, vitamin D, and then a comprehensive metabolic panel with lipids so you can check your cholesterol, get all these things tested, see where you're at. It could be that you're deficient in something too, because very, very important for vegans to supplement B12 because a lack of B12, lack of vitamin D can have some major health implications long term. So these are all things to consider. I hope I said enough there. I'm sure I did because I talk way too much about stuff. Vanessa says the big smoothie you drink throughout the morning until you make your salad for lunch. Also, do keep a food journal. So the big smoothie, I usually just get through it in 10 minutes or something because I like to just be done with it and it tastes really good. So I love to just drink it. And it lasts for me for a long time. it'll last for me for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, depending. Like I drank this thing around 9, I think it was, and it's almost 3 here in Vegas. So it lasts for a really long time. I don't even feel that super hungry, but I am going to go have a salad because I know I'll get hungry pretty soon. But I wasn't like that when I first started. This is my other cat, by the way. This is Moo. She's the other one who loves attention. I didn't always start like this. Like I would have smoothies and I would be hungry right away, but I realized after a while that it was emotional. It was just mostly mental, and I just wanted to eat more because I like to chew things or whatever. And I got over that after a while. That took some mindset work too. And so I'll usually just have this smoothie, but it's a huge smoothie. So I make sure I have, 30, 24, 26 ounces of a smoothie. And then I deal with whatever mindset stuff comes after that. I tell myself, okay, I'm good for at least 3, 4, 5 hours. I'm going to eat lunch at this time, and that will be it. And then I just stick to that. I wasn't always like that, but that's what I've worked through doing nowadays. And I just want to mention, if you guys are interested in our recipes or interested in understanding how you can eat enough food to feel super, super healthy and wonderful, but to also lose weight and not to feel super hungry, try one of our 21-day challenges. We are opening another one up right now. It's open for registration right now, and it starts on Monday. So we do these once a quarter. We have amazing testimonials from people saying they're not hungry. They can't believe how full they are on the challenges. They love the recipes. You can see reviews on my website. So many reviews from people who just love these challenges and who really learned how to do the Eat to Live diet. Because we lay everything out for you. We tell you every single detail of what you need to know, how much to eat, when to eat it, what to make, and when to make it. So we break down all the prep into tiny little sort of bite-sized pieces so that you can do only 15, 20 minutes of cooking max. And then some days you don't have to do any cooking at all. So we really lay that out for you. We separate out the grocery list so you can grocery shop either every 3 days or every 6 days. You can kind of choose what you want to do there depending on your fridge size, your apartment size, wherever you live, or if you live really far from a grocery store, that sort of a thing. So you can decide. And then we also have some amazing bonus PDFs as well. One of them is on mindset, which is what I'm always blabbing about. It's my favorite topic because I'm a certified life coach. I have a couple of amazing coaches that work for me, Nancy and Karen, and they are my private coaches. And so they help people with their private coaching. So you get an awesome mindset PDF as well, which gives you an introduction to this type of stuff and specifically how to use the mindset stuff during the challenge as well. And then there's a bunch of other PDFs too. There's like an FAQ, there's a welcome booklet. It's like 16 pages long with tons of tips and things like that. And then we've got a kitchen products guide and a food storage guide, just like lots of awesome bonuses too that come along with it. So if you're interested in the 21-day challenge, which is starting on Monday, get in on it now. Want to register right now. It's super affordable. Registration is open now. There's a link in the description above. Also, there's a link pinned in this chat section as well. You want to get in on it now because we only do these every quarter. So we won't be doing another one until April. And we only leave this registration open for a few days. So that's going to close really soon. And you cannot get into the challenge after we close it. I always close it down. I don't let anyone get into it afterwards. And as I said, this is the last one until April again. So you want to get in. And you also want to start now because you want to start wrapping your head around stuff, reading the materials, and you got to grocery shop for the weekend and start to prep your food too. So, okay. You're so welcome, Dan. Great, great question. Thank you for asking that one. I don't hear from men as much as I'd like to, and so I'm glad to hear your question. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. Ooh, Patrice says, I am now joining. Yay. Please let me know when the next challenge begins. Yeah. So you've got to get in on the registration period right now. The link is above. Register for this one and it starts on Monday. So you're going to want, and it lays it all out for you in the challenge. So you don't have to worry about that. But today's Tuesday. So you want to grocery shop probably Thursday, Friday. And then I would say probably Friday to make sure everything's fresh. And then you're going to make some food on Saturday, Sunday, maybe. We split that up for you a little bit. I don't know this challenge exactly what we're doing, but you'll definitely be doing a little bit of cooking on Sunday to get you started. And then every day after that, we'll kind of break down the prep for you so it's easy and manageable for anybody to do. These challenges are made for one person at a time. Yeah, I've got some other questions to answer, and I'll get to those in a sec. Caitlin asked, am I part of Dr. Furman's team or an independent coach? I'm an independent coach. I do not work for Dr. Furman. I know Dr. Furman. I've done lots of videos with him. He's wonderful. But no, I have my own site here. And the reason I started doing this, I actually asked Dr. Furman if I could work for him a few years ago, and there just wasn't anything for me to do there yet. So I said, okay, I'll just make my own my own thing, because my mission is to get people like me healthy, is like, but for life. Like the motto I say is the recipes and mindset to help you eat to live and love it forever. That's the whole idea. But deeper in there is my story, which was coming from a place of food addiction, binge eating disorder, like along with the clinical diagnosis, I was actually a binge eater. Standard American dieter, always overweight. And I had a mission, like this is my mission in life, is to figure this out for myself and teach it to others. And so my story was that I started this way, always overweight, wanting to get healthy, but didn't know how. Found Eat to Live. I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. I want to do this. And in the book, he promises, you're going to get over food addictions, you're going to get to your healthy weight and all that. And I was like, great, sign me up. So I was like, I want to figure out how to do this and I want to teach it to others. So I started my journey in 2013. And I had a lot of ups and downs. And I realized that the food got me so far, but I needed a little more because I'm an overeater. So even eating 100% nutritarian foods, I was still overeating. I was still binging on banana ice cream and dates and almond butter, and I couldn't stop, right? I couldn't keep bean pasta in the house because I would just eat all of it. I would make the whole box, right? Eat the whole box. I mean, I'm a Kraft macaroni and cheese fan from way back, right? And I could never just make part of the box and put the rest away. Like you eat the whole thing, right? That's where I'm coming from. You don't buy a little sleeve of Oreos. You buy the big pack and you eat the whole thing. And then you move on to the Doritos and you eat 1, 2, 3 bags of those in a row until you're so sick, right? This is my story. This is where I came from. And I was like, I need to find something that's going to change. I need to find a way to change this. And so I found Eat to Live. I started doing it and it was wonderful. And it got me to a place, like having more nutrients got me to a better place, but I still was overeating nutritarian foods. And so that's when I learned how to do the mindset stuff through my life coaching school. And now I'm a certified life coach, which takes all this mindset stuff and applies it to food. It applies it to everything else, to business, to money, to relationships, all that. It's all the same concepts. But I applied it to my Eat to Live journey and finally figured it out. So when I had my first daughter, I lost more than 60 pounds. So I had lost 30. I wasn't super overweight when I started, but I lost about 30 pounds when I first started. And that's all I needed to lose. And then I got pregnant and I gained all the weight back and then some. But then after my first daughter, I lost more than 60 pounds. And then I got pregnant with twins again last year. And I had my twins. And now I'm on my final weight loss journey of my life. I'm documenting the whole thing to show you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. And all of that is going to be put into my monthly coaching membership. It'll all be included, called the Eat to Live family. So the family is opening up the end of next month. But right now we've got the challenge. So we're doing the food part right now. And we're going to open up the mindset stuff in January. And you will be able to get in on both. They're both very affordable. The challenges are super affordable. The coaching membership is going to be even more affordable to start off with if you get in this first round here in January. So what I want you to do is, if you're just starting out, you don't know much about it or whatever, start with a challenge, because that's the best place to learn the food. Once you learn the food, you learn 21 days of food, how to eat enough to not be starved all the time, to be satisfied, to lose weight, and to get all of the nutrition you need with the G bombs and everything. Learn that with us. Learn the rhythm of nutritarian eating. And then once that's finished, that starts on Monday. And then that's a 3-week challenge. Once that's done, get in on the Eat to Live family with me, the coaching membership monthly, and learn all this stuff and just keep learning it and get to the place where I am, which is on my last weight loss journey of my life. And I'm no doubt in my mind that I'm losing these pounds forever and I'll never gain it back. If you want that kind of confidence in yourself, and you want to learn how to love yourself during it and not have this like white knuckle dieting, that's what my programs do. So Caitlin says, thanks so much for sharing your story. That helps. That's where I am right now, overeating nutritarian. Yeah, that's where a lot of us get, because if we were overeaters before and we don't fix all the mindset stuff, we're going to be overeaters of the nutritarian diet too, right? And I was like, and you can even see it in my I have a weight loss vlog that I put publicly up on YouTube when I did Dr. Furman's 10 and 20 program. You can see it there too. I would always get cravings in the afternoon, and I would just overeat on banana ice cream every single day, and I couldn't stop. And dates and almond butter. It's like I just couldn't stop. A lot of people do that with nuts as well. I did that with nuts some, but mostly it was, well, almond butter, yeah, in my banana and ice cream and stuff too. So I was like, there must be a way to stop this like insanity in my head. And that's what the mindset and the life coaching comes into play. So I got certified in 2019 from the life coach school, started putting that into my program with my private clients. I created the Eat to Live Academy. And now I have two amazing coaches that work for me as well, Karen and Nancy. They are certified in the same techniques that I am, and they're taking over my private coaching right now while I open up this group membership. Patrice says, how can you be so accurate with the Oreos? Well, that. No, girl, I was there. Like I don't know how many times I bought entire packages of Oreos, entire packages of Doritos, or even more things. You know, I would just sit on the couch and lay them all out around me like I was having a little party for myself, and I would just eat as much of whatever one I could. That certainly like 4 a.m. because my body couldn't like do crap, you know. And I'm trying to just make myself. I would do a week, a week, at least. I remember my ex-husband and I used to go to Carrabba's every single week, and I would get an appetizer, a salad, a full meal, dessert, and smoke. I would eat all of it for as much as I could fit in my stomach. It was typically all of it, and it's so sick that evening, just that full, you know, of way full, like it's painful, it hurts, and as it digests, you're like, oh, this is gonna be bad, and then you end up throwing it up, or you just hurt all night long until the next morning you're all puffy, and you know, that was my journey. And I did that for years, from probably about age. I have a video actually about my whole story with food on my YouTube channel. I put that up pretty recently, like maybe 9 months ago or 12 months ago or something like that, about my food story. Everything I went through. I mean, I went through this from age like, I don't know, 10, 15, something like that, up until about age 30. And I even have binged since then for sure. But usually not those kinds of foods anymore. But it's been a progression, it's been a journey, and it's been my life's quest to figure this out and figure out how I can stop that behavior. And now I got it figured out. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it too. That's my whole what is the word I'm trying to think of? My whole goal? That's not the word, but something like that. Okay, so Patrice says, okay, I'm joining the challenge. Hopefully I can get all the ingredients here in the Caribbean. Oh, the Caribbean. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I hope you can too. And it's tough for us sometimes because we're creating these challenges for people all over the world. I mean, we have people in Japan, we have people in Switzerland. So it's a little tough for us sometimes because we don't know what ingredients you guys have, and it's very different from what we have here. You can substitute stuff. About substitutions in there as well in PDFs. If you can't find something, try to find something in the same category, right? So like if we call for romaine and you can't find romaine, red leaf or green leaf lettuce or some type of a mild green, right? If we call for kale and you can't find that, try to find some other cruciferous green. It might be arugula, even cauliflower, broccoli raw will work, you know, so just trying to find stuff in the same category. If you can't find cashews, macadamia nuts will work. If you can't find cashews, hemp seeds or pine nuts or something other that's like white and creamy will work as well. You could even use almonds, right? So if you can't find lentils, use any other kind of bean. Right? So these things will translate, and the will still be very similar if you find apples. Okay. Just reading Eat to Live. Wonderful. So glad. I hope you really like it. It changed my life. And then Bixby says, if I stray, it can spiral out of control. Any tips for stopping a mistake from turning into a binge? Absolutely. Let me answer this other question real quick. Cheri says, is the life coaching program through EAR? No, I don't know what that is, but I'm certified from the life coach school. So that's where my certification is. So Bixby, let me get your, Eat to Live. No, it's a separate life coaching program, totally different, not related. Life coaching for everything. So getting your mindset in order so that you can do whatever you want. You can get that job you want, you can make the money you want, you can be the way you want to be, whatever. So that's what life coaching does. This sort of up level our lives, and I put it together with Eat to Live. So I was like, I'm gonna learn if it works over my overall overeating, and it did. I started coaching or whatever. So I put them together myself. And that's what Nancy coaches, and that's what Karen coaches privately as well. And so Bixby, if I stray, it can spiral out of control. Any tips for stopping a mistake from turning into a binge? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give you just the last thing I say, and then I'm going to head out. The way 20 challenge now, make sure we sign up. Link in the description, also in the chat section here. Only going to be open for a couple more days. I want 21 days of learning exactly how to eat to live. Sign up for that challenge, which is open for registration now, and only going to be open for registration for a few more days. Okay, it starts on Monday, January 4th, which is next week. And we'll see you in there. Here's something I'm going to do, which is very basic mindset stuff about how to stop a mistake from turning into a binge. So this is the technique, and it's the same with everything. So if you wanted to, for instance, if you shop too much, right? This is how you stop shopping so much. If you procrastinate too much, this is how you stop procrastinating. If you whatever, like you up your life, and this is how you do it. So the idea that our thoughts create all of our ways that we are because of our thoughts, and the money that we have in our bank account is because of our thoughts in the past. The type of cat I have sitting on my desk right now is because of thoughts I had in the past about what kind of animal I should have, whatever, and it put her in my life, right? So our thoughts create our results. Now, if we weigh, we'll just take me for instance. I weigh. Is the audio choppy, guys? Let me know. Let me back. So our thoughts are creating our results. Now, the way that this works is we have thoughts, which create our feelings. Our feelings create our actions, and our actions create our results. Okay, so for instance, okay, seems to be when I move, so I'm going to stop moving. Yeah, right. Okay, we'll see. So thoughts create feelings, create actions, create results. So we'll take me, for instance. Okay, I weigh 147 right now. A couple of weeks ago, I weighed 150. Now, what's the difference between 150 and 147? Just my thoughts. What changed over the last few weeks is I accepted the idea that I need to stop eating salt and oil again to be like forever. Stop eating salt and oil. So I had a thought. I was like, I need to go back to what I used to do, which is stop eating salt and oil. With that, I don't know. I'm sorry if it's, if it's any better if I'm not moving as much. Is it still choppy? Breaking up again. I can change my audio thing. Let me try. Put on, see if I can use these